everyone, my name is Dilika Kamp and I'm just here to tell you something very short and profound, which is please subscribe to this channel for more godly, edifying, spiritual content. This channel is here to educate you, to inform you, to open up your mind, to teach you, to make you see life differently, but most especially in a godly manner. It doesn't cost you a lot. It's just for you to subscribe. Before you continue watching this video, please subscribe. I'm waiting. Thank you for your subscription.
Hello everybody, you're welcome to the Word Based Life. I am Musa Abdullah, your host on this channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to take this time as usual to appreciate all our subscribers, all those that are sharing and liking the video. I appreciate you so much. Thank you and may God bless you. So today we are going to tackle another very important topic. Yes, the Bible says in the book of 1 John verse 2, Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospereth. That reveals to us that God cares about every aspect of our lives, our health included. And today we are going to focus we are going to talk about our health. That's a very important part of our lives. We need to be healthy, to be able to do the work of God. And we are going to focus on mental health. I know we know a lot about physical health. You should eat healthy, you must exercise. I mean, these are the things that are emphasized, but a little is being done or spoken about when it comes to your mental health. So that is our point of focus today. We are going to talk about our mental health. So in the channel today, I'm joined by a few people that are prepared to educate us when it comes to this topic. And I have my brother here, Dr. Celestino. He is a senior doctor, right, at one of the hospitals around here in the city, and he works at the psychiatric ward. Okay, and I have a social worker here, my sister, Goody Katambo. She also works in one of the hospitals. So these are the people that are going to educate us today about our mental health. So Brother Sele and Sister Goody, you're welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Okay, without wasting time, we are going to start with our discussion right away. And the first question I have goes to Dr. Sele. What does it mean to be mentally healthy? When we are talking about mental health, can you perhaps just define it for us so we know?
Okay, when we talk about mental health, it's defined as it's the state of our emotional, psychological, and as well as social well-beings that affect how we think, how we relate with others, how we feel, and how we act, and how we handle stress, and how we make decisions in life.
Okay, so that is what it means.
Yes.
When you're talking about mental health.
Yes.
Okay, Sister Goody, can you just tell us why is it important to take care of yourself when it comes to your mental health? Why is it important to take care of your mental health?
Yes, so it's very important to take care of your mental health, because when you are not mentally okay, you won't be able to function in all your other areas of your life. You won't be able to do your daily activities, because now how will you be able to think? You are not able to think, you're not able to just comprehend things properly. So your daily activities, things like going to work, you won't even be able to relate with people very well, going to church, whatever activity, going to school, your academics, because mentally you are not fine. So yeah.
So that's the importance of taking care of your mental health.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the reason probably why some people don't perform well in the academics.
Yes.
It could also be mental health issues. Okay, that's good to know. Yes, Dr. Sele, can you just educate us? How does one take care of their mental health?
So how do we take care of our mental health? It involves a lot of aspects, because mental health involves a lot of things, and also what goes around us. So that's what can cause mental health. So for us to make sure that our mental health is well, we need to make sure that we prevent things that can cause us to have mental health. So I'll go much in details when it comes to what are the causes of mental health. So some of the things that so that we able to avoid those things. So to prevent us getting mentally ill. For example, I can say is students. One of the causes of mental health is substance abuse, substance use. So if I'm saying that I don't want to get mentally ill because of substance, I need to avoid the use of substance. Okay. If we are talking about mental health, some of the things are environmental. People get into relationship that are unhealthy, and then after a breakdown, after this relationship is broken, and then someone goes into depression. So the best important thing is to avoid all these things that can lead you to be mentally not fine. So that's it can help us to avoid getting mentally sick.
I'm getting curious now.
Yeah.
I hear about depression a lot of times, but I don't really know how to define it. What exactly is depression?
Okay, depression itself. So it's a broad thing. So depression, it comes when someone is depressed. Is one of the mental sickness. So there are a lot of mental sickness. They are divided into four, but depression is one of them. It's a mood type of mental sickness. So it have its own symptoms and signs and all that, and there are things that can cause someone to go into depression. And also, so what is depression itself? So what you need to know what are the signs of depression. You also know that someone
I
has
think we'll
depression.
get
Yeah,
to
you get
the
there.
signs.
Yeah, depression. Yes.
All right, Sister Goody, being a Christian, can you just tell us about what are some of the stereotypes that are associated with mental health, especially among Christians? I know, right? We talk about demons, and if somebody is
Yeah.
being funny, we always associate it with the. Okay, tell us about that. What are some of the stereotypes
Yeah.
that you have experienced as a social worker, or maybe that you just don't know of
As a Christian,
as a Christian?
yes, there are stereotypes associated with mental health, especially in the Christian circle. One of them is that it's a sign of mental health problem. It's a sign of weakness. You are faithless. You don't have belief. You know, you are not a true Christian when you are now seeking for these mental health services. So these are all the stereotypes associated with mental health in the Christian circle. And there's also a lot of stigma, stigma associated with it. And as Christians, I believe we should be careful, because some Christians may be going through certain things, but you don't even know what they are going through. But then you may think that they are backsliding, they are what, but then it's just mental health problems, depression, stress, all these kind of things. So this is why we should also be careful and not look at the person as if they are faithless, they don't have belief, they are not true Christians, and so forth.
Yeah, just because they're going through things. Brasile, I want to ask you this question. Do you believe that is it always a health issue? Do you also believe that people can be how do I put it? When you see somebody walking around like behaving funny, mad, so to say, does it always have to do with health issues, or can it also be spiritual? Do you believe in the spiritual aspect of that?
At medical perspective, it's a bit challenge, but I'm both medical and I'm spiritual as well.
Yeah, okay.
So
Because I know doctor always
yeah. So
when it's what.
yeah, but medically, we don't believe in someone acting like that is something that to do with spiritual things, or someone is bewitched. There's nothing like that medically. When the patient comes to the hospital, you don't say the doctor tell the patient, okay, please go to the traditional healer or go to the pastor to pray for you, prayer mountains. That you are not being medically professional like that. So we go by the book. So it's cost mostly medical cost. But yes, there are some cases that I've seen that you can say that this one might not be a medical one.
Yeah.
But you can't say it straightforward that this is medical. I mean, this is a spiritual thing because of the environment that you
And the
are
different beliefs.
in. Yeah, where you are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what are the okay, this is still to Dr. Sele. How can I tell that somebody's going through have mental issues or they're going through depression, what are the symptoms that
Okay.
I'll be able to see if this person needs help, they're going through mental health issues?
Okay, so it depends according to what type of mental illness is that. So for you to know that someone have a mental illness, so can say there are four type of mental illness. Yes, four type of mental illness. We have they are divided. There's anxiety, and there's mood symptoms. Mood symptoms involve depression and what we call bipolar, and then there's psychotic type of mental illness. Those ones you see going around undressing themselves, speaking things that are not making sense, or they'll tell you that they are seeing things that other people cannot see. That is psychotic. And then there is depression, mood divided into depression and bipolar. So there's depression, it's also mental illness, and then there's anxiety, and then there's some personality disorders. So depression is part of one of the mental illness. So how will you know that someone is having a mental illness of depression? I've spoken about psychotic.
Yeah, that one is obvious.
That one is obvious. You can see in the society someone going around, they undress themselves, people have to run after them and close them, and they are doing things that are not making sense. They are out of touch with reality. That is psychotic type of mental health. But depression type of mental health, this one is, how can I say, the symptoms, how does someone know that this person is not mentally fine? Let's say you have a friend,
Or even yourself.
even yourself, yeah. You see yourself loss of interest in the things you used to do. There is no energy, low energy, loss of interest, poor concentration. You can't focus, can't concentrate.
Isolation.
You're isolating yourself. Maybe you used to go out and do things with colleagues, with friends, but you are indoor. You're just inside sleeping. Yeah, you are not interested in things you used to do. Your energy is low, and some thoughts that are coming to your mind, thoughts that you're supposed not to think. Some days think about suicidal thought. Life is not worthy of living again. Why am I here on earth anymore? I've better.
Hopeless.
Yeah, hopeless and worthless. You feel like you're not important anymore. That is some of the signs that you are going through depression. Yeah. For anxiety, you have fear of unknown. You're just scared about something that is unknown. You're very fearful, but you don't know where this fear is coming from. You are scared. That's anxiety now, type of mental health. You are scared, even to go in front of people. But that one is not mentally ill, but it can get to a disorder when you have set up of anxiety. I'm going to present to people, you are freaking and you are scared. So it can get to an extent, we call them social phobias, where you are scared to present unto people. It's also like a mental illness if it gets to an extent whereby it's out of control.
So that one can also be treated, like at the hospital.
Yeah, anxiety can also be treated with
What
treatment.
level do I know that, okay, now I need medical help? Because I think we all get nervous at some point if you have like a presentation.
If it's affecting your daily activities,
Oh.
if you reach a point whereby you see this thing is affecting, you cannot perform. You cannot work. Some people, because of this, they cannot go to work. They cannot go to that presentation anymore. That is too much. It has gone to extent that you need to seek medical help. Yes.
Okay, yes, this one will go to Sister Goody. As a Christian now and a social worker, how do you think being a Christian helps you deal with your mental health when it comes to this? Are Christians any better off? I'm not saying they're excluded from mental health challenges. I know we all go through challenging situations, but what advantages do Christians have when it comes to taking care of your mental health?
Okay. Yes, there are a lot of advantages, a lot of benefits of being a Christian,
Yes.
especially when you're going through these trials and tribulations and problems and challenges. Because at the end of the day, you just have this comfort, this peace, knowing that God will take care of your problems and your challenges.
hope.
Yeah, you have this great hope. You cast all your cares, all your challenges on Him. And then also another thing, you have this support system around you, this, people that you can go to and talk to, and they will support you in prayer, pray for you, spiritual guidance. So for me, again, also we have a lot of examples in the Bible of people who went through, these trials and just challenges. But at the end of the day, we saw how God was coming through for them. So that's, I feel that's one of the greatest or biggest benefit of being a Christian, compared to when you are just there, you don't know where to run to. But at least when you are a Christian, you know that you can run to God and He will take care of it. Yeah.
And just to add on that, I feel like a Christian is more advantaged because you never hear of a Christian went through a depression and killed themselves. It will never happen because you have the scripture guiding you that if someone takes their life, there's even more problem that you are going to than what you are facing. So that one alone would not even have that thought of letting me try to take my life, because where you are going, there's more problem than you killing yourself. Because the Bible says if you kill, that's you have to kill yourself means you are taking life. So there's no hope for you ever. So that thought itself, you're not able to try to attempt and see, I'll drink this poison and die.
And
So
as a Christian, also, you are just ensured that your problems are not permanent. Yeah, compared to when you are just on your own, you feel like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. You feel like it's forever. There is no more. You know, you are in darkness. But when you are when you are in Christ, you know that it's temporary. When you pray about it, God will intervene and yeah, He will settle
The
it.
scripture also that comes to my mind is that God will not allow you to go through something that you cannot handle, right?
Yes.
We have a case of Elijah in the Bible.
Yes.
The time he was depressed, he would say, he was even asking God, just take my life,
Take my life.
because I'm not worth your living. But you see, God did not honor that. It was a dark period for him, but there was still a future ahead of him. He didn't know. But look at how he eventually left the earth. God sent chariots of fire, and who would have ever known that that was a glorious future was awaiting him. So sometimes when you are passing through that periods, you feel like it's all over. Will it ever end? But when you trust in God, you know that there's always a future ahead of you. There's never a hopeless situation as long as you are alive. Okay, Dr. Sele, do you think it's a sign of weakness for or unbelief for a Christian? We've just talked about the benefits now of being a Christian. Is it a sign of weakness if a believer is maybe going through challenge to go and look for help
No,
in the
no.
secular, maybe to just professionals? Is it a sign of unbelief? You don't have faith?
It's not a sign of unbelief or sign of weakness, because that is what the sister was talking about. Some of the stereotypes that people have toward mental health. They think if I'll go and seek medical help, they will think I'm weak, I'm spiritually weak, and all that. It's not a sign of weakness. If you're going through a challenge mentally, that you are really down, so there are a lot of professionals around, so that can give you professional opinion how to cope with this mental illness and how they can help you and guide you through. It's not a sign of yeah,
No,
it's not
it's not a
worldliness.
sin.
It's not a sin, and they
help,
will help you. Yeah. So it's even of benefit because you are combining spiritual and professional. You'll be at good advantage to overcome that mental health you are going through.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a headache, you go to the hospital. Or you have a scare, you
Yes.
get treated.
And you still pray.
Yes. You still pray.
So you combine the two, you are at good advantage.
So just the way you take care of your physical health and your emotional health, also you can seek
Yeah, you should take care of it.
help. Yes. Okay, Sister Goody, can you just advise us on where one, if they are going through problems here in Namibia, where can we go? Who can we talk to? Okay.
Okay, yes, we have a lot of services that are catering for mental well-being, mental wellness. We have social workers in different ministries.
We can talk to you.
Yes, you can talk to me as a social worker. They work in Ministry of Health at any hospital. You just go there, you seek for a social worker, you'll be referred there by a doctor. And then also we have psychologists, we have psychiatrists as well. We have spiritual leaders as well. Your various pastors,
ones.
yeah, trusted various pastors are there to assist us. And then also companions, you know, if you are married, you have your husband, you have your wife, or if you are not yet married, you have your friend, you know, that you can talk to, pray together.
Open up.
Yeah, you open up as long as your friend is really trusted, you know. And then for students, we have, I think, social workers at
Counselors,
school,
yes.
counselors, yes,
At
counselors, life skills teachers. Just, yeah. So,
Yeah, you should not keep your problems to yourself. Please seek help. It's really sad. I mean, one of the things that inspired the topic for today is what has been going on, especially in our country. A lot of suicide news, people killing themselves, people going through depression. So we should open up that you're a Christian also. Like you might not kill yourself, but you can get bad, like you'll be depressed and all these things. It's not necessary you must seek for help. This is our sister have told us we can go and talk to the professionals. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like a sign of weakness also. Yes, Dr. Sele, maybe you can just elaborate more on the causes of this mental illness and just how can we prevent it? How can it be treated? Maybe if you notice that, okay, I'm going through a mental health issue. How can one like treat themselves or
That's for treatment. Okay. So the causes of mental health, they are divided into, I can say it's 4 causes. If you see anyone with a mental condition, so they are, I can just divide them into 4. So the first causes of mental illness is genetic. Yes. So genes, yes, genetic cause. If genetics, if a parent had a mental illness before this type, especially when I'm talking about no psychotic type of mental illness, so it can be passed onto the children. Okay, someone can also get into mental health. Let's say if your mother had a breakdown, a psychotic type of mental health, that person, the next children can also get it. Even a brother or sister can also get it. So that is what we are talking about the psychotic cause. The other cause of mental illness is environmental and social, and also substance. I can divide them like that. So when you're talking about social cause of mental health, this has to do with how this person grow up, environment you grow up in. Such all those things can result in a mental health when someone is growing up. Let's say your environment when you grow up maybe was an environment whereby you are in a home that was very abusive. When you grow up, you can get a mental illness. So what has happened to you as you grow up, people have gone through traumatic events. They have broken homes. Kids of broken homes can affect someone to have a mental illness, especially depression. Financial problem, economic financial problem, lack of budget, and you see people in debts can also lead to depression.
relationships.
And relationships, these unhealthy relationships, when they are broken, people are hearing suicide. It's a result of that. So the environment that you find yourself in. Some even a car accident can result in a mental illness, what we call post-traumatic stress, and that person will not get away from that. You need to seek help to overcome that, so it can cause a mental illness. And then the other cause is substance. So there are 4 causes: genetic, environmental, social, and substance use. Those are the causes of mental illness. So how do we treat them? There are those that you can treat with medication, and also there are those who can treat without medication. So we call them pharmacological and non-pharmacological treatment. So when you're going to a social worker and to see a psychologist, that is called therapy. So where someone has to talk to you on how to overcome, how to cope with that mental illness. Because there's a question that you talked about: can we avoid mental illness? So there are some mental illness that can be avoided, but there are those that cannot be avoided. The one that we can avoid, like maybe because drug, so we should not involve ourselves into drugs, getting a mental illness. But there are some type of mental illness that's unavoidable. Let's say a family history, someone, your parents has a genetic cause, or you got in a car accident and then this thing is causing a post-trauma to you. It's not avoidable. Car accident is unexpected, so some are avoidable, some are not avoidable. So, but all we need to do is just to seek help. The one we can avoid, we need to get away. We should not be involved in things, that can lead us to get into mental illness. But the one that we cannot avoid, we need to seek help. Psychologists are there, so they speak to you. The social worker, they speak to you, and there's at some extent, if it needs medical treatment, because there are medications that are designed to treat either yeah, to the doctors, either depression or post trauma or is psychotic. They are medication that are designed, and the medication are designed chemically. They are tested so to work because mostly this mental illness is the imbalance in the chemicals in the brain, especially when someone is depressed. When they're going through a big depression, something happens to the brain. So there is a chemical in the brain that goes down. It's called serotonin. It becomes very low. And then that person needs some medication to lift up that chemical in the brain to come back to the normal level for that person to be active again because that person is now depressed, is down, is self-isolating. So that chemicals go down in the brain. So then you need psychotherapy where people speak to you on how to overcome. Mostly they teach you about coping mechanism. Yeah, they'll teach you when you feel like this, how you should react, what step to take. That's coping mechanism because it will come, it will still happen. So they'll teach you the psychology. They'll teach you what they call it cognitive behavioral therapy. They teach you about when you feel like this is how you behave. This is how you overcome like that. So when that thing happens, you know, this I was taught like this. This is how what I should do. It's what I should do. So it will help you in talk therapy. And then medication is just to help to lift up that chemical. That's all that we do.
That was rich. I've learned a lot today that I didn't know before. Okay, thank you so much for that. Okay, do you guys have maybe some final words, just any message that you want to pass across to our viewers when it comes to taking care of our mental health? Maybe on the importance. I don't know. We've already spoken about the importance. Anything actually that you want us to be aware of?
I think I just wanted to add something on relationships.
Yeah.
You know, relationships is just not about this the what do you call it? Boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, not only the romantic boyfriend and girlfriend relationships that are also bringing the suicidal, but you also find, you know, between children and parents,
Yes, yes.
arguments or just
Physical
another
abuse.
physical abuse. Another important person in this person's life, maybe they had an uncle or an aunt. You see now they cannot be corrected anymore. They are already running to go, you know, commit suicide. So, you know, what I can say there is just that, you know, as young people or as young adults, we should also be careful when we are being corrected. It doesn't mean when we are being corrected, you should now run to going to commit suicide. And it's never a solution. You know, if you are having an argument with your parent, your whatever, then you should seek help now from professionals. Yeah, it shouldn't be a case of a parent cannot correct you, you are running to go commit suicide. So a parent should not say anything to you.
Yeah, especially even the parents also. When we are bringing up our children, we need to know what some of the words we use toward our
Yes.
children. We need to be selective. Not every word is worthy to be used to a child. A child
Yes.
can do wrong, but you don't say you are nothing.
You
You're
are
not.
not- you are
You are
useless.
useless. You're not amount to anything. Such words like that. That kid will take those words and they will grow up with those things. It will affect them in life. We've seen them. We've seen them. People comes. They will tell you their history when they grow up. Since they were young, what the parents used to tell them, and now these things affect
There's
them.
lack of love between
yeah,
parents and
they
children.
become very, very depressed.
Yeah.
And even to spend time with your family is very much important because if you're a father or you're a mother always too busy, you don't have time for your children, all those things, lack of love in the house, they would start to look for it somewhere else. And they will
Yes.
start to look for somewhere else, they
The
will get
wrong places.
bad influence, and that bad influence it will lead them to other things. There are
Yeah.
people who are still mentally ill today, depressed because they were raped when they were child, because they were neglected, and then they found themselves in a wrong place, and then that happened to them. Now they are going through post trauma. So the psychology need to deal with this because it has happened with someone who was maybe 9 years old, 10 years old, and this thing is affecting them until today because of that. So we need to. It's a lot of things. Mental health is a very broad,
Yeah, it's a
broad
broad
topic, and the causes really are a lot.
Yeah.
So we need to avoid even a small thing can lead to someone to develop a mental illness. Yeah, what we can avoid should be avoided. Yes.
Thank you so much. I believe we have learned a lot. Just like they've already said, speaking to someone really helps because sometimes when you're going through things, you just conclude that you feel like you're the only one who has ever faced this problem, but there's nothing new under the earth. You realize that when you speak to someone, they might have experienced like that what you're going through already. Like just imagine killing yourself because you went through something, but somebody else has gone through that very same thing, and they are living their lives. They've conquered it. Yeah, so it's very important. Don't just conclude if you're going through a difficult time. Don't just conclude that it's just you. There's no hope and all that. There's always hope. So thank you so much, Dr. Sele and Sister Goldie. I appreciate your time. Thank you to our viewers. So until we come around again on your screens, it's bye.
Thank you.
We need to say bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.